What's going on, and welcome to the Backpacking Podcast with my good friend Jeremiah Stringer. We are here. This is a not live stream podcast today. Jeremiah, we have a really amazing guest on here again today.
Dude, I woke up this morning looking forward to talk to Jeff. I have been, ever since that we knew he was coming back on the podcast, I've been waiting for this day, and here it is.
I am too, because of every guest we've had. He probably made fun of you more than any other person we've ever had on this show, and so that I enjoyed tremendously. That was pretty awesome. So
he's the meanest guest, man.
Well, we're glad to have Jeff on here. For those who don't know, we're getting ready to have Jeff Garmire on the show today. He is a guy who has done insane trails and just recently finished the Barkley Marathon. And if you don't know what that is, you're about to find out, and prepare yourself, because you may be scarred for life because of it. So let's bring him on the show. Mr. Jeff Garmire, how are you, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me back, just to bring Jeremiah back down to earth.
He needs it, man. He needs it. It's so bad. Yeah, his head is so big.
The GoNext sponsorship money, I mean, you can just see he is just getting way too big for his britches here.
Through the roof. He's about to hit 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, and so he's like all, thinking high of himself. It's crazy, man. It's like, that screen's barely big enough to hold his head. I'm being honest with you.
Oh, I don't even know how it fits in there with what he's got going on.
I don't even know.
I think you need to update the logo with you guys.
I know. Jeremiah, his head needs to be like 3 times mine.
Yeah. Yeah, and the head too. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremiah's head just needs to be 3 times the size of my head, and a smaller beard, and we'll be good to go.
How about the Backpacking Podcast with Jeremiah? And that's it. I think that's what it's become.
Very small, very, very small letters. It'll say, and John Kelly, like really, really tiny, tiny letters underneath it. So
like on the second slide. Yeah,
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. The one nobody ever shows.
Enough credit.
Yeah. The one nobody shows.
I feel like I'm on Comedy Central roast right now.
I mean, that's a good idea. We could probably make that happen in the future. A roast. Wow.
We could bring back all of our past guests, and they could all take turns. That would be
actually
They all
get
fun.
Like 5 minutes. That would be a really fun show. You should do it like as a benefit show or something, like a 3-hour big time thing, giveaway every hour or something. That would work.
Thing is, here's the thing. Darwin would probably be cool with it. He would do it. Mm-hmm. I would say that Julian Sheehan would definitely do it. I don't think Heather Anderson's going to be in on that one. I think she's going to she's too nice. Like, she would be like, I can't say bad things about Jeremiah. He's so nice. So I don't think she could do it.
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't get that sentiment, but
okay, can we talk about Jeff?
I mean, we can.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
Well, thanks for the very kind words, fellas.
Yep.
I really appreciate
you, man.
Yeah, you're keeping me grounded. Doing a great job keeping me grounded. It's hard to have an ego whenever I have friends like you.
Yeah, we've got to keep your feet on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Jeff, if people haven't heard the past episode where you were on the show, we talked a lot about your book and about your experiences backpacking, but you've been doing some other stuff very recently. And what had me super intrigued, I follow you on Instagram, and I pretty much watch all your stories. And while you were doing this one particular race, and if people don't know, you like to really push your limits, like do some FKTs, fastest known time stuff. And you're doing this race, and I was following the Instagram story, and I was like, he is talking about hallucinations and lack of sleep and just completely pushing his limits. So what exactly were you doing out there?
Yeah, just, hallucinating without drugs or anything, just complete sleep deprivation. I entered a 250-mile race, and I slept about an hour and 10 minutes throughout 3.5 days, and stuff got weird out there, and made it to the end, but it was like a completely different style thing than an FKT. aid stations, it's easier to push yourself a little harder, and it's almost like it's almost like a 250-mile through hike with just like an aid station or trail magic every 15 to 20 miles. So thought I would go after a super long ultra marathon and push my limits in a way I haven't done before.
Oh my gosh. So people think hallucinations, you're like, oh, he like took some kind of hallucinogen. But sleep deprivation is a huge, like, I don't know, it releases chemicals in the brain. Your brain is like freaking out. What's going on? So were you having like auditory or visual? And then how deep into this race did you get?
Yeah, so we started out at 5 a.m., went all the way through that first day and through the first night with no sleep. And getting into the second night, I took one power nap for 1 minute. So through about 48 hours, I had one that I'd amassed at that point. And that's when the hallucinations started. Like, you'd see a stick on the ground and it was slithering away like a snake or something like that. A rock or a stump would kind of morph into like a safari guide with binoculars staring at you. And I was on the last night, as I was nearing Flagstaff and the end of this thing, about 200 miles in, I was hiking along and it looked like the entire forest was full of abandoned cars. So it was a strange feeling.
Oh my gosh.
And these are not real, but my mind is making them real. So it was all visual, but just very strange to know that things like that aren't real, but your mind is making you see them. And it's a strange thing, but now this is like the fourth time that I've pushed myself to that level of sleep deprivation. So it's kind of fun at this point. I kind of know what I'm in for when the things start rolling.
Wow. That is absolutely insane. What was the name of the 250 mile ultra marathon?
Yeah, it was called Coca-Dona 250, and so it went from the outskirts of Phoenix through multiple mountain ranges, through Prescott and Sedona, and ended in Flagstaff. So 250 miles by foot, and did it in about, I don't know, somewhere in the 90-hour range, 95 hours or something. So
Man. What? Okay, just I got to figure out how you do that. What do you do to train for a race like that? I mean, I know how guys train for marathons, but how do you train for 250 miles and no sleep?
yeah, I mean, I bet compared to like a marathon, you guys would be better trained for this type of thing because it's not like you're running the entire time. It's just so much of power hiking, some running, but just trying to get as much time on your feet as possible. And just kind of, I think the biggest thing was figuring out like what to be eating while you're in the middle of it, and electrolytes and what you're drinking, and trying to ward off anything like cramps or just stomach issues that can kind of ruin something like that. So a lot of the training was just really in the details, and then once you show up, you're just like, well, I guess I'll just push until I make it to the end, and quitting's not an option.
Wow. So, okay, feet, big deal on
Yeah,
this thing. Like,
I had some big blisters too.
I was gonna say, man, how do you do 250 miles in one shot and not end up with insane blisters?
I don't know. I would be curious if anyone made it without some big blisters, but yeah, foot care was huge, trying to change socks as much as possible and just kind of keep everything dry. But I hadn't done a lot of organized races, so I didn't fully know the drop bag strategy and stuff. So I basically was like hanging a spare pair of socks off my running pack and rotating them in and out just like a hiker trash.
There you
So
go. Now, I guess you had a little bit of an advantage on that too, because you understand hiker trash. There were probably some people that were doing that race that were more the marathon runner types who probably weren't sure about all that
yeah,
kind of stuff.
yeah, I think it was so much easier for me to just lay down and get a few minutes of sleep just in the middle of the trail versus a lot of the more traditional ultra runner background like to get to an aid station and sleep on a cot or something. Whereas like after spending, I don't know, over 2 years of my life sleeping in a tent, I was pretty comfortable just laying down anywhere and not too worried about animals or anything like that.
Did you talk to anybody out there and they were like, what in, because sometimes if you're backpacking, you see somebody carrying in like a Walmart camp chair or like jugs of water hanging off their back.
Or like a Gonex backpack. You see those while you're out there? Yeah. Nice.
I actually ran in a Gonex, yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Did people were you the equivalent of the people that we're talking about whenever you're out there? Was anybody like, bro, like what?
Yeah, near Sedona, there was this guy just day hiking, and he was just asked me like what I was doing. It's like, oh, just like 180 miles into a 250-mile race, and he's just like, what? Why? And it was sort of like, I don't know. At this point, I'm wondering the same thing.
I was about to ask you that. I was about to say if you weren't just looking at him going, yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, this was stupid.
Well, I'm curious about the other contestants, though.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people entered the race. I'm sure you were one of many, but I was curious if they had a conversation with you and they were just like, man, here's a couple of tips.
Yeah, no, plenty of tips. I asked everyone at the beginning, all the other people who'd done, because there were about 200 entrants, and I picked the brains of the people with experience in the first 20 miles there and kind of tried to figure it out from there. But it really was just cobbling it together and, forcing it to work, which was pretty easy from the FKT background of just like, well, if I screw up and don't bring enough from this aid station, there's going to be another one in 10 to 15 miles. So it's a lot more forgiving than when you go on a hike. And if you forget something, there's not going to be an aid station out there to give it to you. So
were you eating those gel packets and drinking a bunch of electrolytes? What were you fueling yourself with?
Yeah, I put electrolytes in my water, and then I was mostly just eating those like waffle things, that Stroop waffles that come in like a package. There's like vanilla or caramel or whatever, and those seem to work with my stomach. And then maybe every few hours I'd have like some soup or something, but it wasn't like the greatest diet ever. It just was sticking with what ended up working, and didn't have stomach issues. So I was pretty nervous to try to change anything either.
So I guess the more important question about food is though, what did you eat when you got off of the race?
Oh man. I ate just a big barbecue. I was at a friend's house and they had like hamburgers, hot dogs, pasta salad, like macaroni salad. They were having like a party and some of their friends were coming over, and I'm just exhausted, but also like falling asleep and trying to eat at the same time. So it's just like that thing when you push hard to get to a trail town and you get there and you eat so much that you just destroy yourself.
Yep. And there's always a burger involved.
Usually,
It almost seems like every time you get done with a big hike or whatever you're doing, your races, always seems like a hamburger ends up involved somehow.
Yep. I'd say it's either comes down to hamburger or pizza. Those are the big ones. Yep. Yeah. I don't know what does Gonex allow you to eat, Jeremiah?
Gonex is pretty strict on what you're allowed for. See, Jeremiah with his sponsorship deal, they have him on a strict diet to keep his girlish figure so that he looks really good for his videos.
I'll try to say this the least racist way possible. So mostly mostly
Chinese. Where to go with that?
Wow.
It's mostly Chinese buffet after the Gonex backpacking. If we're being honest here.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, that's right up the Gonex alley. I think they had a Christmas party at Ming's in Waynesboro. So
is it?
Yeah, it's a great place to go.
And this is.
I got kicked out of that all-you-can-eat buffet, actually. I don't know if you guys know that.
Really?
I was eating for 3 hours, and they told me the dinner rush was coming and that I had to leave after this next plate of food. But this was,
that's incredible.
we went on this trip. I didn't get kicked out of this restaurant, but we went on this trip really recently. Went to the Cranberry Wilderness in West Virginia. Me, Mr. Backpacking with Jason, sir, and we were supposed to do a stretch on the AT, like right going into Virginia. And the day before, I had the shuttle arranged and everything. This is literally like last week. And the day before, we got a notification due to aggressive bear activity. They closed all camping on that section. It was like 13 miles worth of camping. Like, you couldn't camp there. And, you know, you want to be respectful of what the AT is doing. And I was like, should we go? No, we probably shouldn't go. If we get eaten by a bear, like, that's no good. So we decided
they're AT bears. They're black bears. They don't eat people. They're kind of like.
That's true.
They're scavengers, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you have to worry about getting eaten by a bear.
Well,
that might be dramatic, man. Just
that's
a little
true.
bit.
I've never been eaten by a bear, so yeah.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
I haven't
so there
either.
you go.
And I've got a lot of gristle, so it's like, you know, I'm delicious for a bear, and it's just like not even happened to me.
I sweat honey, so yeah. I mean, if they were gonna attack somebody, it'd be me.
Sweats honey. I like it.
Sweet.
Well, Jason, he was in charge of like planning this trip out, and he texted me at 10 p.m. So I'm supposed to meet him the next morning at 10:30 a.m. He texted me at 10 a.m. and he was like, or 10 p.m. rather, and he was like, "Hey man, can you take a call?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Hey, they closed this whole section of trail," and I was like, it's closed to camping, and we were going to do like some lower mileage, like 3 miles the first day because we were arriving. We had like a 4 or 5 hour drive, and then do like 8 to 10 the next day. And we were going to have to camp in that section a couple times. And he was like, we need to switch this. So he switched it to Cranberry Wilderness and got rained on every single day. And then on the way back, so dude, I nicknamed this trip Can't Catch a Break because every time we got a fire started, we get smacked by a thunderstorm. And right before we left, like we parked the truck and started to walk into the wilderness, and Jason's like, "Look at that, man. We got a tire that looks like it's flat." So it was like almost out of air. And we were like, when we get back to the truck, we're either going to have to change it or drive to the nearest gas station, which was like a 30-minute drive. So we got back to the truck, filled up with air, and made it to a place where we could order food. And I was like, let's get some Wendy's, man. All I want is some Wendy's. I want something healthy. I want some salad.
Something healthy. You go to Wendy's?
Well, I wanted a grilled.
I am craving.
Wendy's.
I'm craving something fresh and nice, so I go to Wendy's.
No, I wanted
It's like health food capital of the world right there, man. Wendy's.
Yeah. We were in West
It's not
Virginia and needed something healthy, so we went to Wendy's.
No, you didn't let me finish. I wanted a grilled chicken salad, and Jason was wanting a burger. And I was like, let's go to Wendy's. We got there, and I was like, she's like, what do you want to eat? And I was like, I want a grilled chicken salad. And she was like, we're out of salads. The only salad that we have is a taco salad.
Are you kidding me? Wendy's didn't have healthy food?
Wow.
I was like,
I can't believe
Yeah.
most healthy restaurant on the planet didn't even have healthy food.
I said Wendy's #1, Taco Bell #2 for health
Exactly.
well,
And
all
then
they
it's Little
had,
Caesars right after that.
food. Absolutely.
all they had were taco salads in the department of salads. So I was like, I don't want that. And she was like, before
So
you
did you
asked,
do a Baconator instead?
well, I ended up ordering a jalapeno bacon burger or something like that. I don't know.
So
And I was like,
You know the taco salad is more healthy than that, right?
I
Just
don't know.
throwing that out there.
At this point, I was like, all bets are off. I'm just going for it. And she's like, okay, you want the combo? I was like, no, just the fries. And I was like, I'll take a water to drink and let me get a Frosty. And she was like, our Frosty machine is down. We're out of Frosties. It was ridiculous, bro. She said, also, we don't have any lettuce or tomato or onion for the burgers.
So out of vegetables.
Yes, no vegetables except for fried potatoes in the form of French fries.
That are pre-frozen. Mind you.
Yeah, that's true. So I didn't get healthy. It was a disaster. Couldn't catch a break the entire
You should
time.
have seen if there was a McDonald's. You could have eaten healthy there.
Yeah. I just did not see that going the way you showed up to Wendy's for something healthy and couldn't get it. I mean, that's contrary to their whole slogan.
I know,
Well,
man.
If you look at their menu, I think the only thing healthy on there is the salads, because I went through the whole thing after they said they were out of salads. Nothing.
You could have got a baked potato. I mean, that's almost healthy.
Probably like a yogurt parfait or something.
Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't even know they had parfaits.
I'm not sure if they do, but I don't go to Wendy's a lot. I try to eat healthy, but now that I know they have healthy offerings, I might have to check it out.
If you can catch a good grilled chicken salad, then, I mean, it's fantastic. They have one with avocado in it. I mean, does it get much healthier than that?
I mean, it is Wendy's, but yeah.
Okay, let's get back to Jeff.
Yeah, I want to ask you about something different than this race that you just did. I want to talk about a different marathon you did that's not really a marathon. It's just insanity. I want you to tell us about the Barkley Marathon.
Yeah, so this year was in the Barkley Marathons and showed up to Wartburg, Tennessee, to Frozen Head State Park. And after I checked in, it started raining and rained like 2 inches in the night before the race. And then the race starts when the race director blows a conch shell. And that means that in 1 hour, the race is beginning. So we don't know when the race is going to start. We have a floating 12-hour window. So you go to bed thinking this race could start anytime between midnight and noon. And the only way you're going to know is hopefully you hear him blow a conch shell. So he blew that at 2 a.m. And so we ran into the wilderness at 3 a.m. and it was pouring rain, so much mud. It was actually crazy. And speaking of the start, one lady actually overslept and didn't hear the signal for the race beginning, so she was screwed. But
wait, is there a time limit for finishing the race?
Yeah, you have to. So no one finished this year. Most years, no one finishes. I made it. Only, let's see, a couple people, 2 people made it out of loop 2 in time, and I made it through the first loop. But it's like a scavenger hunt where you sprint between books and then you spend time just hunting for them. And it was one of the crazier things, just like a slip and slide in the mud and plugging in the computer. We were dying. Yeah. Yeah, it's so kind of how the races run. There's no GPS. All you have is a map that you copy down yourself before the race. And so you have a map and compass, super old school. You don't get to bring your phone out there. And then there's this like essay of hints where each of the books are. So it'll say something like, once you come to a fork in the stream, look for a hollow tree and then turn right and walk 30 yards and there should be your book. And these books, this year there were 13, they mark the route. So you show up with 1 page out of each of the books to show that you did the whole route. So my number was 24. So I tore 24 out of book page number 24 out of each of the books, and then showed up at the end of the loop and showed 13 page number 24s from each of the books. And some of the books were so easy to find, they just made sense. And then one of them, which was my downfall, was book 7. I spent 2.5 or 3 hours looking for it. I just could not find it. It was like the most frustrating thing where you sprint between the books and then you like are looking around trying to get all the clues to match. And if they don't, you kind of go back to the start. But that's kind of where it gets so difficult is the first year you do it, you obviously have no idea the route and the terrain because it's the only time you're allowed off trail in that state park. And so now that I've done it, I know where all the books are and hopefully can get in again and go faster. But this year, no one finished. Only 2 people finished 3 loops. And most years, there's no winner. Everyone is just a loser.
So, hey, could you do us a favor? I'm sure there are people listening right now who have no clue about this.
Oh, yeah.
Can you give kind of the premise behind the race and kind of what happens in it so that the average person who's listening just kind of has an idea of what this absolute madness is?
So, yeah, we'll start with, it's going to sound so confusing no matter how I say it. So we're just going to dive in. And there's 2 really good movies on it. There's one on YouTube called Where Dreams Go to Die. And then there's one on Amazon Prime that's called The Race That Eats Its Young. And
sorry, just the titles of both of those.
Oh, yeah.
I've watched them, and you're not kidding. That is the best title for these 2 movies you could ever have because it's brutal. It's brutal.
Yeah. I think it's not spoiling anything by just saying the title of one is Where Dreams Go to Die. So success is not something that surrounds the Barkley Marathons in a normal year. And I don't think there's been a finisher now for 4 years. But so how it's set up, it was crafted after James Earl Ray, who's a famous prisoner down at Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary in probably the 70s. He escaped from prison, and there was a huge manhunt in Tennessee, and they finally found him after 60 hours, and he had gone 6 miles. And so that made this race director, goes by Lazarus Lake, kind of like a trail name type thing. It made him think, wow, in 60 hours, I could have gone 100 miles. So he crafted this race where it was like, we'll just go through that same terrain that he was escaping from prison in, and we'll have 5 loops that are each about 20 to 25 miles long, no GPS, just map and compass. And he created this ultra marathon, and it's set up. He wants everyone to fail, and like maybe once every 10 years someone finishes, but he wants it just possible enough that you want to show up and give it a go, but also so impossible that most people fail. And so he created this race, and for a good 15 years, not a single person finished. And now he's been at it for 30 years now, and there's been 15 finishers ever. And 3 of those actually are in that one movie. So that was the biggest year for finishers. But this race, there's no GPS allowed. It's completely self-supported between loops, and you do one 20 to 25 mile loop. No one knows because there's no GPS. You have no clue how far it is. And you're searching for books. So just like there's a checkpoint in a race where you run across something and it registers your chip or something just so they make sure you did the route, how you show you did the route is by showing up with a page torn out of each of the books that are just like checkpoints along the route. And you show back up, touch the yellow gate, show them your pages. And then if you're under the time cutoff, you get to go out for another loop, and you kind of keep going out until you quit or you're timed out. And this year it ended about 24 hours earlier than anyone thought because everyone was so much slower, and just rain, weather conditions, and it was the most fun I've had, but also insane. Just we were kind of how it goes is the first 3 miles we were charging up Bird Mountain up the switchbacks, and then all of a sudden the leader just turns right and just crashes through the brush, and that's when the off-trail segment of the Barkley Marathon began, and people are just like running and hurtling off cliffs searching for books, and you get to one of these books and everyone's waiting so you can tear out your page, and then you just start charging downhill again. It's so much fun, but it's so impossible, which I think made it so fun.
How tore up were your legs? Everybody I've seen who's run it, their legs are destroyed after this thing.
Yeah. I wore some good tights during it, so that worked, but my arms got destroyed because the briars are 6 feet tall, and they're just so scraped because it's just like bushwhacking through a blackberry field or something for some of these
Oh, man.
books, because they go out and they hide them from you, and it's the craziest concept. It's just, if you're confused, I mean, it's just a confusing and weird race that I think you definitely just got to watch one of those videos. It's amazing.
So whenever you decided to enter, or I'm sure at some point you heard about the Barkley Marathon and you're like, that sounds like something that I'd be happy to try. How did you sign up?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a secret club or something.
Yeah, this is another good aspect of it. It's secret on how to enter the Barkley Marathons. And the way to get in is during one specific time period during the entire year. You have to send an email to a secret email address within that small time window of why you should get to run the Barkley Marathons. And I got on the wait list 2 years ago, and I was in the field in 2020 and then canceled because of COVID, and then got moved and got in this year. So, but it's a very secretive process, and there's enough out there online that if you want to dig really deep, you can figure it out. But I think sort of the aura is to keep it so mysterious and be like, you can dig into figuring out how to get in, but I'm not going to give you all the answers either.
So what did you say in your email? Why do you, Jeff, deserve or should be allowed to run this marathon?
Can I just say, my guess is you probably just said, I'm a Tiger King. Let me
Yeah.
in.
Yep. Reincarnation of the Tiger King. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. That's all it is. They don't need anything else.
No, I think there's two ways to do something like that. And it's like, you don't want to just throw all the accolades or something. It's like a job interview, but you also want to be a little sarcastic and funny and like catch their eye. Because if there's 1,000 applicants and only 40 people get in, you got to make it a little different. So I just gave a bunch of examples of times I've thrown up on my shoes during FKTs or things like that. And I said that I'm really looking forward to failing at the Barkley Marathons, and I would be a good contestant to show up and result in epic failure for a number of reasons. And I think he liked the sarcastic style of just kind of making fun of the whole aspect of wanting to be in a race that you're probably not going to win.
That's funny.
That is totally you, man. That is awesome. Now, did you know anybody before you got there?
A couple people I knew a little bit from like the ultra running world, but actually Heather Anderson has she's attempted it a couple times. So that's another one of your guests that we'll have on for the roast battle.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I would love it if Heather Anderson would just roast you hard, man. I think that would be incredible. Then we get Skirka right after that.
Oh,
and
man.
we save Jeff till the end. You know, we get Dan Durston in here, he'll do his thing, and you know, Darwin, of course, he'll have some fun with it, but then we end it with Jeff. And
keynote speaker, I'll wear a suit. Yeah, let's get this on the calendar.
It has to happen. I think we're gonna start planning this one.
It's almost an honor, I guess.
It's
brought to you by grilled chicken salads from Wendy's.
Brought to you by the healthiest restaurant on the planet, Wendy's.
Yeah, where health matters, Wendy's.
Well, Wendy, if you look at Wendy in the picture, she's skinny. So I mean,
Very
obviously, she's very
fit.
fit. It's probably because the food sheets at Wendy's.
Their beef is never frozen, is what it says on the commercials.
I don't think that makes it healthy.
I'm pretty sure their beef is 95.5, like lean to fat. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and just so thin too. I mean, if I'm going to go after a hamburger somewhere, I'm always looking at Wendy's.
I really do like Wendy's, and my go-to is the what? I don't know why you're laughing. My go-to is the Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe, no mayo, because the mayonnaise, it adds too many calories, and a spicy grilled chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
And then you dip those.
You get the Junior Deluxe and you say, hold the mayo because I'm trying to be healthy.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
so funny thing about this. Okay, so I've been doing keto for a little bit. I've lost about 60 pounds, and
Wow.
I go. My wife wanted to take the kids out to eat one night, and we asked the kids where they wanted to eat, and they wanted to eat at Wendy's because kids, chicken McNuggets, chicken nuggets, whatever they are. And so we went there, and I had to go and just basically say, "Give me the thing that has a bunch of cheese and bacon on it, and no bun." And then I asked if they had a side salad, and they're like, "No, we don't have side salads. We just have massive salads." I'm like, so I'd have to pay like $8 for a salad and get no fat at all, which you have to have fat to eat on keto. So basically, I just ate a gigantic 3-patty cheeseburger with no bun, and then went home and tried to find some like vegetables to eat. It was like, those are your choices. Welcome to Wendy's.
Yeah, no, I
Home
mean,
of health food.
there should be a fast food restaurant that offers like a big old like Renaissance fair leg of turkey. I think that would be really cool. Just people walking around with like a big old just chunk of meat.
I think
Now-
we should do it, and then we'll name it Garmire's. That'll be the
Gar-
name of the restaurant.
How about just Myers?
Oh, I like it.
Myers.
Yeah.
Myers goblets. It'll be delicious.
Yeah, we serve mead.
That would be epic, man.
That would be.
I'd definitely eat there.
Wow. Yeah,
I
I
know.
mean, it'd be like the White Castle type of situation, I think, where people just go for the novelty of not the little burgers, but the giant leg of turkey. So,
Yeah, for some reason, my
It's
wife
healthy.
loves White Castle. She likes those the O-rings or whatever they're called. It's like a chicken nugget, but it's in
I've
the
never
shape of
been
a
there.
circle. You never eaten at White Castle?
no, I eat healthy by going to Wendy's.
Are you a
Brother does FKTs, Jeremiah. You don't do FKTs eating White Castle. It just doesn't happen.
I'm pretty
Like-
sure a crave case fits into the diet there.
Yeah, I would say maybe I'll do a Taco Bell once if I'm gonna cheat and really go for something. But there's nothing better than like a Costco pizza too. That's like the greatest deal in town.
Now,
Oh,
whenever
yeah, those
you're
are good, actually. I hate to say that, but yeah, you're right. Those actually are good.
And they're, yeah, like
Like-
$10 for a giant pizza.
Yeah, yeah.
if you're like not in the, we'll call it like hiking backpacking culture realm, you're
Mhm.
back into the synthetic lifestyle and you're just living at home or whatever. Are you more of a Whole Foods kind of guy?
Oh, I usually shop at Safeway, not a huge Whole Foods guy.
No, I don't mean like
I know.
shop at Whole Foods.
Yeah, I would I'm pretty close to vegetarian, I would say. Still eat like cheese and stuff, and I'll eat meat in like a social situation, but the kind of more structured towards whole foods that you cook and just cutting out meat more has been pretty good for like recovering and getting in shape and stuff. But yeah, never Whole Foods. I mean, that's why they call it whole paychecks.
That's
Yeah.
the truth. That's the truth.
That's
And then
true.
Amazon buys them and they make it like, oh, if you have a Prime account, you're gonna get such a better deal. And you're like, yeah, I get 10 cents off of a $5 bunch of asparagus. Thanks. That
Yeah.
really helped.
Yeah, like avocados, like $3 for one, and it's like, oh, I get 10% off. What
Yeah,
a treat!
It's $2.70 for a freaking avocado.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not
The
worth
guy-
it. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one.
But if they want to sponsor the show, we can cut this out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point. Speaking of sponsorships, let's talk about your Mountain Dew sponsorship a little bit.
Yeah, let's dive into this.
Yo, what's the deal
I-
with the Mountain Dew stuff? I've seen it all over Insta.
Well, it makes a lot of sense because when you think Mountain Dew, just like when you think Wendy's, you think healthy outdoor, just saving the environment. So I would say it's a perfect crossover for hikers that are taking on these Mountain Dew sponsorships to, just share similar viewpoints and just, they're sticking to what got them there and the environment. And there's nothing like seeing a trashed Mountain Dew can on the side of a road and just knowing that that's a company that cares.
Yeah, that they're there for the outdoors.
Yep.
Although I will say, if you're running a 250-mile race and you sleep an hour and a half, those Mountain Dews might actually be pretty helpful. I don't
Yeah,
know, I could be wrong about that one.
I'm all for soda. Just the color of Mountain Dew makes it feel like I'm drinking like a cartoon radioactive drink.
Do you remember Surge? Do you guys remember Surge?
Oh yeah.
That was even worse.
Yep.
That was even worse. It was like neon. It was like bright green.
Do you remember the whole saga of Four Locos when it was just like that same color and it had caffeine in it and alcohol and just made people insane? Do you remember that whole case?
Gross.
It's so bad, man. I mean,
Four Locos for the outdoor.
I turned down Mountain Dew so I can maybe get a, like a Monster sponsorship or something because they care about the outdoors too.
Wait, you could get Red Bull. I mean, they do dirt biking. That's kind of like being in the outdoors.
It gives you wings. Yeah.
Yeah, it does give you wings.
Yeah.
And you could do the sugar-free one so you could be healthy like Wendy's.
Yep, exactly.
I want to get this Mountain Dew thing cleared up because I'm completely in the dark on the whole. Like, I know that Mountain Dew and Doritos they were huge in the Call of Duty scene. And that is like
topical.
That's the extent of my like soda knowledge when it comes like at all. I haven't had soda in like it's been over 10 years. So I'm completely lost, but I've seen a bunch of Mountain Dew stuff on Instagram. So what's the real on it?
Yeah, so I think really just created kind of a feud. So here's the dirt. There were some influencers that sold out and they just sold their account to post something about Mountain Dew. I'm sure they got paid a couple $100 or something and posted a Mountain Dew sponsored post on there. And so obviously in my style, I went out with my girlfriend backpacking and took some naked photos with a Mountain Dew bottle. We took some photos together. We made it the biggest parody of Mountain Dew that we could. And some people seemed to be a bit frustrated that we were making fun of them. But I think it's the whole thing. You can post whatever you want on your account, but I also get to make fun of it however I want.
So
I remember, I was going to say, I watched the whole saga unfold.
Yeah.
And I was so entertained. I mean, it was hilarious. And it was just, there was kind of a shock and awe of it. You know, it was kind of like, what is happening right now? And then watching kind of the back and forth, I was cracking up, man. I'm just gonna be honest. I was laughing my head off.
It kept going. Like, you think it's gonna be one joke, but then someone responds and it's like, oh, you saw that and responded, so I won. I'm gonna keep going deeper. I'm gonna twist the knife a little more. So
this is a feud.
Started using the hashtag don't do it. You know, DEW.
Okay, so some people were actually sponsored by Mountain Dew on Instagram.
I think they did a campaign where they paid some people some money to post a Mountain Dew post on their feed. And take the money if you want, but also you better be ready to be made fun of if you're a thru hiker who is saying Mountain Dew is topical for the outdoors. And, you know, it'd be hard to argue that not most of Garbage Patch Island in the Pacific is made of Mountain Dew bottles, but, you know, I thought it was a pretty funny thing back and forth. And if I ever posted something like that, I just would not respond because I got exactly what I wanted. I got a response.
I saw all these pictures of you, and you on your Instagram. You're walking around naked, but covering up your bum with like a peach emoji.
Yep.
I was so confused, but I was so entertained. I was like, why is Jeff posting this? What is this?
Yeah, you know, I'm still wondering why I posted it, but I think we got to have fun with how awful social media is. So went full on, dove in naked, and made fun of Mountain Dew.
Now, John, you can tell me off air here. This Mountain Dew campaign, the people involved, are they people that I know?
Yeah,
you know of them. Yeah,
at least one's on a Rival podcast. So
yeah, well, not Rival.
Well, I don't think we have any rivals.
You're the
Easy,
top,
Jeff.
You just look down on the others.
Oh,
no,
we're just in our own world. We just kind of like,
okay.
we're just kind of like, everybody else is kind of more serious, and we're like, screw serious, and we just have a good time. So yeah, ours is just a little different. So we don't really consider ourselves having rivals. We just kind of live on our own planet, and do our own thing.
Well, I mean, I'm back here, so I've chosen which rival I'm going with.
Well,
So, if we can open this feud up larger, do you think Mountain Dew will sponsor next week?
Jeff pops in. He's like, I'm gonna pop in every couple of months. Let me stir this up and see.
He's like, let me pull open this hand grenade. Let me pull out the pin and drop it. And let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'll jog away.
Hand it over. Here's my grenade, guys. Just watch this thing blow up.
Honestly, man, when it comes to this whole social media stuff and like, legitimate. The podcast we basically do for fun. We're not making no quit your job money or anything like that. We've made enough that it's bought the some of the equipment and that kind of thing and the subscriptions that we have to use just to keep the podcast running.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the social media stuff and us using it as a quote unquote brand or influencer, whatever those dirty words that people use, I try not to like Go Next. I try not to consume a lot of other people's content. One, because you only have so much time in the day. So if you're making stuff, then you don't have time to consume a whole lot. And two, it really influences the way that you do things. So for instance, your Instagram, I follow your Instagram. It's very entertaining, and so that can put ideas in my head that
you need to walk around naked and put emojis in front of your butt cheeks.
Yeah, I would say you should be posting a lot more naked photos and be wearing a lot more animal-themed outfits.
Yes. Well, you should be your animal should be a fox though. With all that red hair, you should be the fox. We got the Tiger King and the Fox King. That's what it should be.
And then what would you be?
I would just be the guy that takes the pictures of all of it.
Okay, like the safari tourist.
Remember, he's the star. I'm just the guy in little print. Remember, we talked about this earlier. Yeah. So I don't get to have animal print.
No.
Although I think if I did, it would be a panda bear. I think that would be pretty close to what I would do. I'd be a panda bear.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
would be good. Well, I'm trying not to do the copycat thing, so that's why I'm not consuming all this other stuff. So maybe we do have rivals. I don't know. Or maybe Jeff is just implanting horrible ideas in my head and stirring up the pot of feud.
I am trying to get Mountain Dew to sponsor the podcast. I'm working hard on this. We're not making fun of Mountain Dew or Wendy's or Go
Since we're in the South, could you hook us up with Mellow Yellow instead?
How about just Shasta soda?
Oh yeah, Shasta would be good.
Yeah,
maybe Fanta. Fanta would be cool.
Fanta would be woohoo. Some chocolate milk.
Yeah, yoo-hoo. That'd be awesome.
Yoo-hoo.
Hey, John, would you take a sponsorship from the L8 Kentucky Swamp Water?
How much are they paying?
I don't know. What's it worth to them?
What would be your price?
Because I mean, let's just be honest, Jeff. If Mountain Dew was to come to you tomorrow and say we're going to give you $1 million to post this on Instagram, are you posting it?
Absolutely. It doesn't even need to be close to $1 million.
He's like $200.
But you got to have fun picking on your friends when they do it, right?
Exactly. The thing about this feud is
the killer.
If I post something, you should shit on me. But also, if you post it, I mean, you should expect some heat coming your way because Mountain Dew doesn't necessarily mean stewards of the environment.
Right. 100%. Like I said, I think I would if the price is right. I mean, heck yeah. Why would you'd be stupid not to?
Yeah, who wouldn't take the money? It's more so the reaction. Like, of course they're making fun of you. That's why Mountain Dew had to pay you to do it. Like, if they weren't paying you, I mean, you would have just done it for free and felt good about it. But you had to get paid to post the Mountain Dew.
Yeah, you might as well put a hashtag that says "Bring the Crap Show." Like seriously, like as soon as you post it, because you know it's coming.
Yeah,
you know it's coming.
Absolutely. I mean, the funny part about that whole thing this week was just like, if you don't say anything, it'll just die, and my joke will maybe make some people laugh. But the response is all anyone's looking for with a joke or comedy or parody, which is what the whole thing was, just making a parody of the Mountain Dew thing. So it was just funny. Like, you could pretend you didn't see it and it would have died, but instead you went all in, and we got to post back and forth in some good old fashioned just jibes.
That was fantastic. It was great. I actually really, really enjoyed it. And I kept checking about every 20 minutes to see if something else got posted.
Yeah, no, it was great. I wish it would have kept going, but
we need more beef in the backpacking industry. We need more people that don't get along. We need that.
me versus
boxing.
Skirka.
Why do the rappers get it? Why do the rappers get all of it?
Let's start the feud, me versus Skirka now, and let's get this going.
Yes.
It began here on this podcast.
Yeah. I mean, what's that guy got on you, anyways?
Probably just more followers. He's old, so older. But yeah, I mean, beyond that, not a whole lot. I got more hair, so
that's true. That's true. Gosh. I've seen him. You do have more hair. That's true.
What is this?
Come at me, Andrew. Let's do some celebrity boxing.
I was about to say, I watched.
You're not gonna box Floyd Mayweather, are you?
No, just Logan Paul.
I couldn't believe that. He got destroyed in that match.
Yeah.
I watched. These guys are making a lot of bank, man, from these feuds.
I know. I think we got to start it. We'll get you guys on a feud against another podcast. We'll get me in a feud against some people. I think this is the way to the top. People love publicity.
I think you're right. I think this is what needs to happen next for us, Jeremiah. I think we need to find somebody who we can start to hate.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good idea.
We genuinely need to hate somebody right now. And I'm going to pick Devin Ashby. I'm going to pick backpacking experience. We need to hate Devin from now on.
Okay. I think I fully support this. I'm going to choose your side just because Jeremiah's on it, and his big head.
And you're still looking for your GoNext sponsorship, so if you get with Jeremiah, there's a possibility of that happening.
I just would really like a pack, and I know he can get me one.
There it is.
I think I can get you one on Amazon for $39.99. I'm pretty sure.
Do you think you could through hike the AT with the GoNext pack?
Oh, definitely, bro. I think that
you'd make it at least 400 or 500 miles.
I think you could. I think you could definitely through hike the AT with a GoNext pack. Get at me, GoNext.
Yes. let me prove them right. Let's see. Send me a pack and the money to hike.
Yes, that's what they have to do. See, the smart thing is for me to get sponsored by GoNext, and they pay for my through hike, and they're going to make so much money off of it that it's going to be tenfold.
I'm thinking this. I'm thinking GoNext, Wendy's, Mountain Dew. That's all you're carrying, all you're eating and drinking the whole way. Marketing. I think we've done it.
And the patties are never frozen. So, I mean, you're ready to go.
Yep.
You're ready to go.
They never have salad in stock, but it's on the menu.
I'll get a T-shirt.
Dehydrate the burgers, man. Dehydrate the burgers.
I'm gonna put on the T-shirt. Patties are never frozen. And then whenever people ask me on the trail, they're like, "What is that T-shirt, bro?" I'm gonna be like, "I'm sponsored by Wendy's," and you're probably you're gonna be craving it for the next 3 days until you get into this next trail town. You're going to be craving Wendy's, and then they're going to make so much money too. And then the Mountain Dew.
Let's do it.
Well, that's just we just need to do trail magic. We just need to do trail magic. We'll just go to the end of trails, and we'll just have loads of Mountain Dew and just give it to people. And then we'll have some diet ones for the guys that are like watching their figure, and that'll be what we do. It'll just be tons of cheeseburgers from Wendy's, and free GoNext memorabilia, and Mountain Dews.
I think we do a shirt collab and we just have "Don't do it," and we can.
I think the Mountain Dew. You know how like the FCC, they got these heavy regulations on like if you put stuff on TV and radio, but not so much on the whole podcast game and YouTube and stuff. And like they made it a law that you weren't allowed to for some time drink alcohol on a commercial on TV. Like you could show popping the top and all that stuff and all the fun stuff that goes along with it, but you weren't allowed to drink it. That'll be me with the Mountain Dew because I don't actually drink it. So secretly I'll never drink it, but it'll always, I'll have it set up in the background. it'll be sitting here like on the podium. The athletes, they do the post conference.
Yep. Yeah.
They're
Or
asking
like the guys
question.
who win a NASCAR race and they always have a Coke in their hands.
Yeah. Yep. I like
they
it.
just shake it up.
Just drink water out of the Mountain Dew bottle. You just need the bottle.
All you need to do is every time you finish a trail, it doesn't matter if it was an overnight trip or it was like a long trail, you just need to end it by taking a Mountain Dew and shaking it up and spraying it everywhere in celebration.
Like champagne.
The champagne of Appalachia.
The champagne of the backpacking world, Mountain Dew.
Man, it's not the champagne I wanted, but it's the champagne I deserve.
It will give you dew mouth, man. Have you seen dew mouth?
I've heard of this. I went into a deep dive on Mountain Dew related issues in the last week.
What is dew
yeah,
mouth?
It's like where your teeth all fall out.
Yes.
Like, if you look at the back of a Mountain Dew, there's like 200% of your daily sugar in just one bottle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the serving size. Each one, there's like 8 servings of Mountain Dew, and each one has like 49 grams of sugar. It's ridiculous.
You're supposed to be drinking it just like a shot because it's just so bad for you.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's definitely the champagne of backpacking. There's no
I'd
doubt
say
about
so.
it.
Yeah.
I think we started something here. Like, this is gonna have to happen. So Jeff, you're gonna have to fly in from Montana. We're gonna have to head over to the AT and do some trail magic.
I think so. At least a photo shoot, a promo video for the upcoming feud.
Oh yeah. Well, and Julia Sheehan was just doing that this past week. She was doing breakfast for people and stuff. I bet she would go with us.
Yeah, she was into making it a bigger feud too. So yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, I saw some of her posts.
Yeah, so I mean, people pick their sides, and I think we're ready to throw down now.
Oh yeah, tag team. Let's do this. Like, let's bring her in. Like, we're getting the Mountain Dew. We're getting the Wendy's. It's on.
Yeah, throw me and Skirka in the ring. We will make this an event.
Oh yeah, I think you and Skirka though should have a wrestling match instead of boxing.
Okay,
like pro wrestling with like entrance music and like pyro and like the weird costumes, jumping off the top rope on each other. I think that's really what you guys should be doing.
And it's like we're hitting each other with like camp chairs or ultralight backpacks.
Oh yeah,
trowel.
Trekking poles. Trekking poles would be good. Stabbing each other in the eye.
Knock them out with a trowel.
We need to partner with somebody.
Eye out.
We need to have this, like, if you can't actually make this happen, imagine an animated video of you and Skirka wrestling, and he comes out and he's wearing like, you know how like Native Americans, they would have like the full bear, like the stereotypical bear, like it's got the actual head of the bear on it. He's wearing one of those, but
I was gonna say
like
he'd have to be a
pooping.
grizzly bear because of that story about the grizzly bear. He'd have to be. He would have to be it'd be the grizzly bear versus the Tiger King. I mean, come on.
Oh, how that sells itself? How do we get this going?
This has to happen. I mean, we're talking like pay-per-view quality right now.
Oh yeah, just imagine
the undercard.
Ooh,
we got to get the undercard. I don't know.
Darwin versus
Dixie.
Darwin versus Dixie.
Intergender wrestling match. She'd kick the crap out of him.
The Darwin Dixie fight. I just imagine Dixie launching off the top rope and just leveling him.
Oh man. Yeah. Atomic elbow right on the head.
Wow, we are just so woke.
I don't even know if that's a thing, but the atomic elbow right on the head. It'll be great.
Man, so what hiking celebrity would you guys want to, if you got to choose one to be on your team for this pro wrestling thing? Good.
I'd be Tat because he looks like he would just kill people.
I'd probably go with Jabba, the hiking Viking.
Oh, the hiking Viking. Yeah, he'd be another one.
He's got some
him and IB Tat. Him and IB Tat would be a killer tag team.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how you beat that.
Oh no, there's no way. There's no way. I mean, you could bring in Acuna hikes. Like he would. Yeah. He's a big dude. He looks like he could handle himself.
Yeah, man. We got to set this up. Maybe it's like a quarterly thing, but do you guys have an arena or something we can get these going?
I don't know, but Dan Becker would have to be the announcer.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he's got the radio voice.
He's got the radio voice. Dan Becker has to be the announcer. I'll do play-by-play. I'd be all about doing the play-by-play.
I'd love to be your color analyst too. Like, all right, let's go deep in and see how Darwin ended this fight against Dixie.
Yeah, this would be great. And then Jeremiah could be the on-site reporter It'd be
Yeah.
really good.
The suit and tie in the ring and interviewing the fighters after.
Yes.
This
Yes.
is our post-fight interview brought to you by Gonex. Let's go down to Jeremiah in the ring.
Walks in and hands Mountain Dew to every winner. That would be
who's the I mean, I know this is like boxing UFC like style, but who would be the person that holds the numbers up or like is like holding a card up for the next fight? Who's that going to be?
I think that's an easy one. That's an easy one. I think that should be Second Chance Hiker.
Yep.
Oh,
I think Second Chance should be doing that one.
Oh, walking up and down with like round 4. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Second Chance all day long.
That would be awesome. He's a Florida guy. I mean, he basically lives in like swimming trunks, right? So he probably walking around in his swimming
trunks. You have
trunks.
to hike the Florida Trail. You're like walking through swamps and crap the whole time.
Yeah. How do we do this? I think we need to put up a bracket, get this thing going, just slap on their Mountain Dew and Wendy's. And, you know, if we act like they're sponsoring it, maybe they actually will. And then we'll just be rolling. So,
and then and whoever wins gets fully outfitted with Gonex gear. Like clothing, backpacks, cook kits. I mean, come on, look at this cook kit. I mean, it comes in this amazing bag.
Yeah,
I mean, look at this thing. I don't even know if I can get it on the screen there. It's beautiful.
Great. Yeah, it's huge.
I know. It's just the size you want for a cook kit, you know?
Yep.
It's nice and compact.
Too small for car camping and too big for backpacking. That's what Donuts does.
Do you guys think that anybody's still listening to this?
There's no way, but maybe.
I think if they are, they're having the best time of their life. Here's the thing. I think there's a thru hiker right now that's on the AT or the PCT or the CDT, and they are miserable because the weather sucks, and we just made them smile for, an hour.
Yeah, and if they do hear this, they should go on Andrew Skirka's most recent post and just write #Gonex.
Oh, what they need to write is #Jeff Garmire is better. That's what they need to do.
Perfect.
We got to start. We're going to start this rivalry. We've really got to start it off right.
Yeah, let's get these feuds going because this is when you get the numbers. We're doing this for clicks here.
I'm still imagining Darwin going against Dixie. That's still the one I'm sitting here like in my head. I'm going. That almost has to be the main event. It almost has to be the main event.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Y'all know how like Paul Heyman. I don't know if y'all were like fans of professional wrestling back in the day, but the Undertaker had a manager named Paul Heyman, and he would like carry around an urn and stuff for him. And what if remember Darwin got into that feud?
No, it was Paul Bearer.
Paul Bearer. What was I saying?
You said Paul Heyman. I think he's a different guy.
Okay, sorry. Paul Bearer. Yeah, that makes complete sense because the Paul Bearer, carries the casket.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Anyway, what if Dixie's manager was that guy that Darwin kind of got in a feud with? I think his name was Nightcrawler. Y'all remember this?
Oh yeah, that was ugly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it wasn't Darwin wasn't in a feud. The guy was just after Darwin, I think, more than anything else.
Well, maybe that guy could be Dixie. I haven't seen anything from that guy since then. I didn't really follow him.
Him and Dixie, he'd be her manager. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he could be her. You could carry around the urn behind Dixie. He would be her manager. Man.
Dixie has an urn.
I guess so. I mean, why not? Who cares, right?
Yeah. And then, she'll carry around what is an urn of Darwin's burned beard or something.
Did you see where she almost got arrested?
This
past year? She went to this grocery store, and something in her pocket fell, and she picked up and stuck it back in her pocket or something, and a lady working there thought she stole something and called the police, and it's all on video.
Wow.
Yeah, she almost got arrested for theft in a grocery store.
So she's a hardened criminal, so she'll be good at this.
Yeah, she should be a great pro wrestler.
How did she get the body cam footage from this officer? That's what I want to know, because in her video, like she posted it and it was his footage.
Wow.
Yeah. I think she asked them and they told him what she was doing and they were like, "Yeah, you can use it."
Wow.
I mean, she's Dixie.
I guess we have to ask the question: is Dixie a Karen?
Or did she get attacked by a Karen? That's really the question.
Oh, yeah. Did a Karen attack Dixie? Wow.
Yeah, and try to get her arrested.
This is why people are listening. They're here for this analysis.
They are. So, question for you, Jeff. Are you guys still under mask mandate out in Montana?
I don't think COVID exists out here anymore.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're done
with how things are looking. There's not a whole lot of masks anywhere anymore.
I was going to say, they came off in Kentucky in the 11th, I think. We finally had our mask mandate lifted. That's been kind of nice. So now we can wrestle without masks on. Because I was thinking about this. I was going, man, it's going to suck with masks on. But I think we're going to be good. We'll make sure we have it in Kentucky.
Yeah, I think like Kentucky, maybe like a mud hole or something. We can live stream it too. It'll be great.
Oh, we'll just do it in the Red River Gorge, and we'll do it on top of a cliff. And if you get thrown out of the ring, you're dead.
That's perfect. God. Yeah, to the death.
I mean, if you're gonna do this, you do it. Like, you don't play around with this kind of stuff. If you're gonna be serious about it, you make it happen. And I think
someone better die during the inaugural year of this.
Exactly. We want to make the Barkley Marathon look like a baby could run it. That's what I want to do.
This isn't about just failing. This is about surviving.
Yes. This is what backpacking is. Backpacking is survival. And
we'll have like announcers like, weighing in with an 11-pound base weight, we have Darwin.
That's awesome.
And Jeremiah gets up there weighing in with a 32-pound base weight. It's Jeremiah Stringer.
Weighing in with a Mountain Dew in one hand and Wendy's in the other.
I say if we can make this annual, then I live on this giant lake in Kentucky. We could do like a raft up, like everybody gets on their boat and they're all tied together, and then we could have the fights all on one giant platform out in the middle of the lake.
Ooh, yeah. And then we could that would be awesome. And then if we could pour oil in the water and light it on fire, because that's really good for the environment, but it would look cool.
We could just have Mountain Dew bottles lining it that are all burning.
Fill them with kerosene and just light them. That would be great.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think the effect on the environment would be too bad from that, would it?
No. I mean, this is exactly where we expected this conversation to go here too, right?
We're talking about Mountain Dew. They love the environment. That's why we get sponsored by them.
Pro wrestling, Mountain Dew, and Wendy's. I mean, that basically sums up the episode.
Yeah, and I mean, it kind of goes with the Barkley Marathon if you really think about it. I mean,
the two things that we were going to talk about really became an afterthought, but it's just too fun to think about just these feuds battling it out.
I know.
It's just incredible.
Maybe it could be like the precursor to the Barkley Marathon. The people who didn't make it get a chance to fight each other to get in.
I'm picturing
you have 5 spots available in the Barkley Marathon, and you have to fight your way in.
I'm picturing like the Anchorman scene where all the news channels show up with their weapons.
And Harrison Ford shows up.
Yep, they're showing up with like their ultralight weapons, like a half-inch pocket knife or something that they're trying to fight with. This is funny.
They turn their little half toothbrush into a shank.
Jupiter is sharpening the back end of his toothbrush.
Jupiter. I didn't even think about Jupiter. We got to get him involved. He would be in Darwin's corner. Corner.
Probably the towel guy for Darwin, just wiping him down.
That's what would cause Darwin to lose. He'd throw the towel in at the end because he wouldn't want Darwin to get hurt.
Yeah. How about we could probably need John Z in there too. I bet he'd be a good fighter.
Oh yeah.
Are you guys ready to wrap this thing up?
I mean,
whenever you are, man.
We can. Yeah, we'll just have to do this again to sort out Mountain Dew and Wendy's.
We got to have a business meeting in a couple of weeks to talk through all this, but yeah, we're good.
Yeah, okay. A lot of stuff out there.
So Jeff, besides Instagram, what's your handle on Instagram?
It's at The Free Outside.
Okay, same title as the book.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
The book is Free Outside, and started a new project this year called backpackingroutes.com too. So people were putting up a bunch of different routes around the country and ways that people can go through hike something that's not one of the Triple Crown trails. So that's a big project been working on. So check that out.
That's awesome. What's the name of the site one more time?
Backpackingroutes.com.
Awesome. Any other ways that people can find you or follow you or anything like that, support you?
Oh man, just freeoutside.com is a pretty good place to start. It's all there. And then, yeah, just comment on all of Andrew Skirka's posts and let him know I'm still around.
And one last question for you. You've done all these long trails and stuff. Rue McKenrick's about done with the American Perimeter Trail. Is that going to go on your list?
I don't know. It is such a commitment to do these really long things. I don't know how many, getting old where I have like actual things in life that I can't take off for 8 months, but we'll see.
Well, I was gonna say this one might take a little more than 8 months.
Yeah,
but,
it might take forever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long trail, man. He's been working on for like 2 years. So
Ooh, man, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I've been looking at some shorter stuff, exploring some areas in Montana, and just kind of that weird time after such a wash of a year last year to figure out what to do since we can actually do stuff again.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, man, thank you for being on. We really appreciate it. And hang out for a little bit because we're going to talk to you after we get done. But definitely glad that you were on the show, man. It's always fun when you're on here, and I can't wait to see what your next adventure is going to be because I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, let's get these feuds going.
There it is. There it is. We'll see you later, man.
See ya.
And Jeremiah, once again, that was a blast, man. That was awesome.
You remember when Rue started talking about keeping the furniture in the house and all that, and the whole thing went off the rails?
Yeah.
Yeah, another one of those. Jeff keeps it interesting, man, for sure.
But we could have landed on something really valuable today.
Is it satire?
No, it's the fact that we need more people that don't like each other in the backpacking community. It's going to be way more entertaining long term if we get this to work, you know? So
what if the backpacking community goes from peace and love and like hike your own hike to the backpacking podcast has just turned it all on its head, and now everybody they're just fighting, man.
We just call it the BBP Wrestling Network, and it'll be incredible. Like, we'll just have the best matches. Like, we'll put the WWE out of business is kind of the way I'm looking at this right now.
Well, I'm basically, after we get off here, I'm going to start practicing my maniacal laugh and counting money. That's going to be my hobbies.
I think it's a great idea. I think that's what you need to do. So, Jeremiah, I think it's time to sign off here, bro.
All right, man. I've had a blast.
I have too, man. So until next time, we'll catch you guys on the next go round.
Adios, folks.